Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Welcome back you all in your SST class. Today we are going to start our chapter Diversity and Discrimination. Second chapter.
Prejudice, discrimination, and inequality. All the people can never be classified in a certain group. There are many different types of people in world. Imagine what happens when one person thinks or feels a certain way about an entire group of people. This chapter will give you detailed account about stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. Knowing about differences. People belong to certain groups. Whether that group is racial, gender-based, or something like what a person chooses to eat, everyone belongs to at least one group. Here, it is notable that being a part of a group is not all that to a person. Let's understand it by an example. Neelima and Stuti are classmates. Neelima is vegetarian, but Stuti is fond of fish. When Neelima and Stuti meet, they have all sorts of ideas about each other. Some of them are true, and some are just based on stereotypes and prejudice. What does a prejudice mean? Prejudice is a feeling towards a person based on their affiliation with a group. Here we can again refer the example of Neelima and Stuti. If Neelima decides not to like Stuti just based on the fact that Stuti is non-vegetarian, then she is being prejudiced. Her feeling of dislike that springs from her belief in a negative stereotype is prejudiced. Understanding stereotype, positive and negative. A stereotype is a belief about a certain group of people. Both the prejudice and stereotype can be either positive or negative. For example, Stuti thinks that vegetarians are healthy and peace-loving. These are positive stereotypes because they reflect well on the group. On the other hand, she also thinks that vegetarians are pedantic and holier than others. These are negative stereotypes. Neelima thinks that meat eaters are all strong due to all the protein they eat. This is the positive stereotype. But at the same time, she also thinks that they don't care about the environment. This is negative stereotype. Discrimination. Implementing the feeling of prejudice in action is called discrimination. The people involved in sweeping, garbage collection are treated as lower class people. Also, most of the people hesitate to have meal with them. This is just an example. There is discrimination in the society on the basis of caste, color, race, religion, gender, etc. You might have seen in your class that some students who are fatty or thin, black in complexion, or having problem in proper hearing or seeing are teased by their classmates. This is the discrimination in your class. It must be avoided. Discrimination on the basis of caste. Our social structure is based on the caste system. Although originally based on occupation, it has now developed into a four hierarchy based on birth. According to the Hindu mythology, Brahmins were born from the head of the creator, Kshatriyas were born from the shoulders, Vaishyas from the stomach, and Shudras from the feet of the creator. Thus, a person's birth in a particular caste determined his or her social status. Out of these, the lowest of the low castes are referred to as untouchables and were treated very badly. They were not allowed to drink water from the same well or live in the same areas where upper castes lived. But it was the lowest castes that carried out the menial jobs. They performed most important functions, yet they were discriminated against. Though originally associated with Hinduism, it also permeated different religions. Casteism keeps the society divided in our country. Due to this, after independence, the Constitution clearly stated in its preamble that it guaranteed equality to all its citizens. Untouchability has been abolished. Special provision have been made in the form reservation to uplift the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward class, SC, ST and OBC, and communities. Discrimination on the basis of economic inequality. This kind of inequality is due to unequal distribution of wealth. The most visible form of economic inequality is poverty. In cities, the worst victims of poverty are workers, while in villages, the poor are mainly the landless laborers. The government has initiated several measures to eradicate poverty. Facilities for easy loans, better and cheap facilities for irrigation, seeds and fertilizers to improve land productivity have been provided to farmers. Population control is another area in which the government is working to achieve this goal. Increased industrial production, education, new job opportunities, and effective implementation of the welfare schemes for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are some other measures introduced by the government to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Discrimination on the basis of gender. Traditionally, males have always enjoyed more position and power in India, whereas the females were discriminated against even before her birth, which reflects in the high rate of female feticide. The girl child is given less attention in matters of healthcare, food, and education. Some of the problems faced by the women are dowry, parda system, illiteracy, and physical abuse. The government has taken several measures to improve the status of women. The Hindu Succession Act 2005 has given Hindu women equal rights on inherent property. Non-formal education and free education to the girl child has been introduced. Reservation of seats in the Panchayat, 73rd Constitution Amendment 1992, and changes in the inheritance and marriage laws have resulted in the empowerment of women. Discrimination on the basis of color. It has been observed that often a black-complexioned man is given the name Kallu, Blackie. It gives chance to fair boys to tease them. People have a prejudice against people with dark skin in many places in India. Sometimes they are treated differently and sometimes unfairly. Such kind of discrimination takes place in marriage, workplace, and school too by classmates. Discrimination on the basis of religion. Nowadays, this kind of discrimination has become a very sensitive issue. Imposing one's superiority over other religion is very common these days. India is a secular country, that means officially the government will be neutral in terms of religion. All the religions are equal before the eyes of law. Government will neither be biased nor opposed to any religion. We should live in peace and harmony, respecting other religion as well as yours. In India, a larger number of people follow Hinduism, although there are also followers of other religions like Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Judaism, etc. But despite these diversities, there is an underlying unity that has made India a successful democracy. It is rightly said that India is a land of unity in diversity. All communities celebrate festivals with great enthusiasm. People of all faith, regardless of their religious differences, visit places of worship and pilgrimage centers. In our country, temples, mosques, gurdwaras, synagogues, and churches exist side by side. Religious tolerance and humanism towards other religions is one of the pillars of India's secularism, and it can be maintained by all our harmonical and sincere efforts. Trivia. India has 2 million gods and worships them all. In religion, all other countries are paupers. India is the only millionaire. Mark Twain. The framers of our constitution saw the diversity of India as an asset rather than a liability and ensured its continuity through the constitution. Thus, our constitution declares in its preamble that we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. Figure 2.6 Framers of Constitution. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. It reveals that the Constitution respects the individual and guarantees different rights to its citizens. The word secularism means that the citizens are free to practice any religion that they want, and government does not interfere in matters of religion.
So that's about it about second chapter of your civics, human, discrimination and diversity. So now you will solve the bookwork of this chapter. Till that, bye bye everyone.